If you feel like you're constantly in a position where you're fighting for relationships and you're fighting for other people, but it seems to never be reciprocated, then I would highly encourage you to stop fighting and to just let those things go. And I know from firsthand experience, it's challenging, it's difficult, and it's tough to let somebody go. Somebody that you feel like you have to fight for, somebody that you just want to reciprocate the same exact energy to you. But I feel like it's so important to put yourself first and respect yourself above that need for that person. This video is going to be a lot more personal for me because it's something that I feel like I constantly struggle with. I feel like since the day I got into middle school, to high school, to college, I've been constantly fighting for people to just see me as how I see myself. And I always constantly find myself fighting for these people, but it seems like they're never fighting back for me. And I feel like if you're watching this video, you can definitely relate to what I'm gonna say, but I'm definitely a fighter. If there's somebody that I care for, if there's somebody that I love, I'm going to fight for that relationship. If I feel like there's something that I can do to fight for it, I'm going to fight for it. And that's just always how I've been. It's definitely hurt me a lot more times than I can count, but it's also helped me. It's saved a lot of relationships. It's put me in a position to make friends, lifelong friends that I'm never going to lose. But I think that it gets to a point where I have to question if the one relationship that I save is worth the 5 times that I'm fighting for somebody that clearly doesn't want to fight for me back. I continue to fight for people because that's what's comfortable for me. And I realize that every single success that I've had when I fight for people and they come back and actually reciprocate the energy over time is actually not a success at all. Because yes, after all of that fighting, I have the person that I wanted. I have the person that I felt like I needed in my life. But to what cost? I've spent days, weeks, months overthinking things. I've gone through so much mental exhaustion just trying to get this person to reciprocate energy. And most of the time when that person comes back to you, you're just the second option. So every single time I fight for myself, I'm putting in so much unreciprocated energy that over time I'm drained, I'm lost. I've lost all the energy that I have to put to another person. I barely have enough energy to just put into myself. So yes, if you're constantly fighting for somebody, if you're constantly chasing somebody, you need to let it go. You need to move on and you need to put yourself first. I think one of the biggest things that I've actually learned from college is that when you fight for other people and when you try to chase other people and get other people to choose you, you're putting yourself in the worst position possible, because not only are you wasting energy trying to get somebody to like you, but you're also wasting energy that you should be putting into yourself. And I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I can definitely speak for myself. I constantly find myself in this position where I'm fighting for another person, and I started to reflect and question, why does this keep happening to me? It's either it's something that I'm doing or I'm the most unlucky person in the world. And I realized that it wasn't the fact that I'm the most unlucky person in the world, it's actually something that I'm doing. I would argue, from my personal experience, you will never, ever, ever find the person that fights for you, that chooses you, that actually wants you, that desires to be in your life if you're constantly fighting for people. Because if you're constantly fighting for another person, if you're constantly chasing another person, sometimes we get to a point where we're starting to change ourselves just so that other person can choose us. And at that point, you're not authentically yourself. Now you're turning yourself into a person that can be fought for, that can be chased. And if you find yourself in a position where you have to change who you are or change how you act just so another person can fight for you, that's not the person for you in general. In acting in that manner, you're never going to find the person that's actually going to fight for you, because nobody's going to fight for you if you're not authentically yourself. I would believe that people are attracted to energy, and if somebody can tell that your energy does not correlate or does not match to what you actually are, they're not going to fight for you, because that's not your authentic self. Instead of fighting for other people, you need to turn yourself into that authentic version of yourself that people eventually fight for. You need to choose yourself. You need to focus on yourself. You need to prioritize the things that are going to turn you into the best version of yourself. Because as soon as you start to prioritize yourself, as soon as you start to put yourself first, you're going to recognize how you're actually supposed to be treated. Every single time you take care of yourself, you wake up on time, you exercise, you treat yourself nice, when you focus on your hygiene, anything that you're doing to prioritize yourself, you're subconsciously teaching yourself those qualities that you deserve. You start to respect yourself just a little bit more because you're recognizing, okay, this is what I deserve. This is something that a person should be doing for me. If I can treat myself the way that I feel like I'm supposed to be treated, what makes me think that another person can't do that for me as well? Once you find those habits and those qualities in yourself of how you're supposed to be treated, Now the next time somebody comes along that maybe you feel like in the past you would have to fight for and would have to change yourself to make them chase you, now subconsciously you're thinking in your head, well, I know what I can do for myself. I'm okay and well enough alone. I don't need this person to fight for me. I don't need this person to chase me. And then once you see another person that has those qualities, that reciprocates energy, that actually fights for you, now you're actually recognizing that this is the person for you. Most of the time, it's not the fact that we're constantly fighting for people and nobody ever fights for us. It's the fact that we're so focused in putting our energy into the people that don't fight for us that we're not even recognizing the people here that are fighting for us. Because I mentioned earlier in the video that I feel like I'm in a constant position of just fighting for another person or having that person choose me. But when I actually think about it, I recognized all the times another person fought for me. I'm recognizing all the times that another person tried their absolute hardest to get on my good side, to try their absolute hardest just to get me to choose them. And I feel like I just ignore those moments because it's not what my energy was in. And I'm not saying that you have to go for the person that fights for you. I'm not saying that you have to prioritize the person that chases you. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that if you put yourself in a better position to recognize when a person is fighting for you, or recognizing when somebody has those qualities that you deserve, you're going to be a lot happier and you're going to start feeling like you're not chasing or fighting for everybody. The entire moral of this story is to focus and fight for yourself, and then put yourself in a position to fight for people that will actually fight for you. Because of course there's going to be a time where you have to fight for a person that you deeply care about. That's going to be inevitable, and I feel like that's the right thing to do a lot of times. Trust your gut, prioritize yourself, focus on the people that focus on you, and just continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to experience things. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Peace out.